Hey, thanks for joining me. I wanted to show you some of the tree climbing equipment I use regularly. I wanted to start with my backpack. This is a 65-liter Black Diamond Mercury. The top lid here, or brain, is removable. The brain does hold your helmet nicely, which is very nice. On the exterior of my pack, I usually have a tripod. I usually have my silky Zubat saw with me, and then I usually have some type of water bottle, especially in the summer months. That's a clean canteen. It's uninsulated, pretty durable. I've dropped that out of a tree a couple times and you can see it's dented pretty severely, but still leak free. I also use Black Diamond trekking poles. I believe these are the Pro Shock trekking poles. These really help to get the tree climbing gear into the woods and to lessen the weight on your shoulders and back. These particular trekking poles have shock absorbers built into them, which are really nice and really prevents a lot of shock blow to your arms and elbows when using them. So I really recommend the trekking poles, even though they're not true tree climbing equipment. They can make your life easier and quite a bit safer hauling all this tree climbing gear and weight into the woods. This is the helmet I've been using. This is a Black Diamond half dome helmet. They make it in a variety of colors. It's pretty lightweight. It's held up good for a couple years. You can see I have a mount there for my GoPro. Definitely recommend wearing a helmet if you're going to go recreational tree climbing. The rope I use is Yale Bandit 11mm. This is the same as Yale Blaze, it's just a different color. One side of the Yale Bandit is set up as a moving rope system, or a DDRT system. This rope does have a single sewn eye, and I use it on the DDRT side. I'm using a Pinto pulley, a Rock Exotica Pirate carabiner, a Rock Oak carabiner, and some beeline hitch cord there to kind of close out that moving rope or DDRT system on one end of this rope. I do have a leather cambion saver that not only protects the tree, but it does protect the rope. The other side of the Yale Bandit rope is set up as a canopy cinch anchor. I'm just using a simple pear length there, and this cinches around either a limb or a trunk in the canopy and allows me to ascend into the canopy using a single rope system. And I'll show you some of the single rope systems I use. But that's an overview of the normal rope setup that I use for standard height climbs in my area. 150-foot Bandit, moving rope system on one end, and a SRT canopy cinch anchor on one side. That allows me to use both ends of the rope here. This is one SRT system that I've been using. At the heart is the Rope Tech Hitch Hiker. This is generation 1. I'm using RIT hitch cord with that by Sterling, and this is 9mm hitch cord. It does seem to work on just about any kind of rope that I throw it at. At the bottom of the Hitch Hiker, I do choose to use an ISC fixed plate pulley. I feel it does help to tend the slack, or to manage slack as you're climbing. To help tend the device, I do use the Hitch Hiker holster. That's this little plastic device here that attaches and is clipped in with the carabiner into the device. That allows you to attach a dog snap or a chest harness here to help tend the device up as you climb. This is the chest harness I use. It's just a simple 4-foot Dyneema webbing sling. I have a brass swivel snap here at the bottom. It does swivel, and that can attach to that Hitch Hiker holster and allows me to pull the device up as I ascend. For a step for my left foot, I use two different things. The first thing is a left-hand ascender here. This is a Petzl. I have it attached to an adjustable foot loop, and that does give me a nice step for my left foot. I use this for years and it works very nicely. The best thing I like about this setup for a step for your left foot is it does give you a nice grip for your left hand as you ascend. Now if you don't like the hand ascender and foot loop, you could consider using a knee ascender. This is something new. This is a Petzl Kroll here at the heart. There's a short adjustable foot loop, a triple bungee here attached to the Kroll, and then that goes up to another swivel snap that will attach to my chest harness. That gives me a nice step for my left foot, and this Petzl Kroll rides around my knee, which is very nice. So both the knee ascender and the hand ascender work very nice for giving yourself a step for your left foot. At the bottom, I do use a CMI foot ascender. I've had this thing for probably almost 10 years now. It's still going strong. It's really heavy and bulky. It's pretty much a brick. There's a lot smaller and lighter options available, but I really recommend some type of foot ascender if you're planning on doing any serious amount of tree climbing. It's worth its weight in gold. This particular foot ascender does have Kevlar straps. CMI guarantees the cams for life, which is very nice. And it's my understanding they guarantee the strapping also. And this strapping is about 10 years old and it's still going strong. So that's one setup that I use to ascend and descend using SRT. Okay, this is another SRT system that I've been using. This is a recent addition to my kit. At the heart here is the rope wrench. This is the second generation, manufactured by ISC, based on Singing Tree's design. That rope wrench is attached to a fixed tether with two eyes here at the bottom. That gets connected to my hitch climber pulley using an agricultural connector here at the bottom. This agricultural connector looks a little strange. It's from Tractor Supply. Those are some grade 8 washers there to keep these tether eyes pinched to the hitch climber pulley. I'm also using a Rocco carabiner and 8mm B-line hitch cord. That's 28-inch B-line hitch cord. That's what I tie my hitch with. All of that combines to make a very nice SRT system. To tend the rope wrench, I've been using this 4-foot Dyneema webbing sling. This is twisted and worn as a chest harness. Attached to that and girth hitched to that, I have just a simple dog snap swivel here. And to give me a little extra room and give, I do attach this section of bungee cord and a cheap carabiner. That carabiner gets connected here and is used to pull up the rope wrench system as I ascend or to tend it up the rope. That's working pretty well for me. I'm still experimenting with that a little bit. Now for a step for my left foot, I've been using the left-hand ascender and a homemade foot loop. I've also been using the knee ascender for a left-hand foot loop and step. This is a Petzl Kroll. I just recently got this from eBay. And that's connected to a short webbing loop that's used as a step for your left foot. And then there's a triple bungee here at the top, and that gets connected to your harness with this swivel snap at the top. So both of those will work. The knee ascender will work as a left foot step, and this left hand ascender and foot loop will work as a nice step for your left foot. Now for my right foot, I'm just using the CMI foot ascender. This is my RADs system. I'm using a Generation 1 Gree here and a Rock D carabiner. I'm also using a left hand ascender by Petzl and an adjustable foot loop that gives me a step for my left foot. I also create the YOYO or RAD system using just a simple CMI micro pulley and a carabiner. I think this is a screw gate Petzl AMD carabiner, but you could use pretty much any carabiner you want here. That does give you a nice mechanical advantage, which is one of the great benefits of the RAD system or the YOYO system. This is the harness I've been using. I did recently kind of upgrade my harness. I was previously using a New Tribe Nicosi Generation 1. That one really has been kind of retired and really kind of at the end of its lifespan. I did buy this saddle used. This is a New Tribe also, but this is the New Tribe Arrow, and it was manufactured in 13, so it's a little bit newer saddle for me. This saddle is very lightweight. It actually doesn't even have any padding here in the hip belt, so it's very lightweight. It's easy to pack in, but because the padding is lacking, it's really not as comfortable as that well padded Nicosi that I was using before. Even the leg pads here don't even have padding built into them. They do have Velcro here on the leg pads and on the back pad where you can add padding, but since this saddle has been discontinued, I doubt that you could probably even find those anymore. It is very nice. It's kind of closer to a rock climbing harness than a tree climbing harness. Maybe not. It is kind of lightweight like a rock climbing harness with very little padding. Not as comfortable as the old one. The nice thing about this saddle is that you can run 2 bridges on it, and that's what I'm doing here. I've recently gotten this Petzl large swivel. That's on one bridge there. And then I have another bridge here that just has a steel ring. I like to use that steel ring with the Rope Tech Hitch Hiker when I use that and the ISC pulley. It is a nice saddle for the money. I think I paid $150 for the saddle. And it's actually intended as a hunting saddle to help hunters get up into a tree or to get up to their tree stand and camp out while they hunt. I really like it because it's so lightweight and that you can run 2 bridges on it if you like. These are some miscellaneous items that I usually have on my harness at any given time. These are 3 separate webbing slings of different lengths and sizes. I use these for redirects. Sometimes I'll use them as a step to step on or to girth hitch onto a tree and then use that as a step. Very versatile. I think this is 2 foot. This is 4 feet. This is a Dyneema one, and this green nylon homemade one is I think that's about 6 feet or 5 feet. Very nice to have on your saddle. They don't weigh a lot, and you always find a use for them, it seems like. Now these 2 hitch cords here, one is sewn. This is RIT hitch cord 8mm by Sterling. It does have the kind of bound eye here. I use that with the DMM revolver. Very versatile. I'm sure you've seen that in a lot of videos. You can prusik this onto a rope above your SRT system and run your rope through the revolver, and you get kind of a mechanical advantage if you need to get back up to your tie-in point. Very cool. I wasn't using the DMM revolver very much. I've had it for a long time. But once I got this bound prusik loop, I've been using it quite a bit now. This one is made from ice tail. Ice tail is a very kind of soft, supple rope or hitch cord. It will pretty much stick on any rope that you brusic it onto. This one has a little SMC ring on it, and I use this a lot in the tree also. Sometimes I'll cinch my rope around a trunk, and I'll use this so that I don't have a carabiner smashed against the trunk. Both of these items are very versatile, and I think it's worth carrying around on your harness. This is a 50-foot section of PMI Easy Bend rope. This is 10 millimeter. This is a really stiff caving rope. It's really bulletproof. That rope has been around a long time. One end does have a sewn eye, and I have that connected to a DMM Captain hook. I use the DMM Captain hook for positioning, for advancing my line in a tree, and for traversing tree to tree, which is one of my favorite things to do. To set up a mechanical advantage when I use the hook, I do use the Tarango cinch. Tarango cinch has been discontinued, but you can still get them on eBay. You may be able to use the Gree 2 or Gree 1 if you can't find a cinch. I'm using a Rock D carabiner with that. And then I also use this Petzl Basic. This is one of the older generations of Petzl Basics. They've shrank them quite a bit. But the nice thing about this older version of the Petzl Basic is you can bolt an ISC fixed plate pulley on there, and that makes a very compact way to make kind of a mini yo-yo or rad system. So I'll combine all of those components right there and make a very nice traverse kit with mechanical advantage to pull yourself over into another tree, or to advance your line in a tree for that matter. Now the other end of that PMI 10 millimeter rope is set up as a moving rope or DDRT system. This system just has a knotted connection here. It uses the hitch climber pulley and an 8 millimeter beeline hitch cord. I'm using a Rocco carabiner here, and this is a Rock Exotica Pirate carabiner with a leather cambium saver. So that allows me to use this 50-foot rope as an extra long lanyard and as a traverse system to get over to other trees. These are some of the throw line items that I use. The throw line, of course, helps you get your rope up into the tree. The two main kits that I use here are 1.75 millimeter Zinget. That's attached to a steel shot-filled bag. I think this is a 14 ounce if I'm not mistaken. The other kit I have, and it's in a separate throw line cube, is a Dynaglide. It's a little bit thicker and easier on the hands. That's also attached to a 14 ounce throw bag or ball. That's steel shot filled also. I'd recommend always go with steel shot filled bags. Lead is toxic. It's not good for the environment, and you can't use it for magnets, so there's really no reason to buy it. I also have a Big Shot line launcher here. You can see I've got it kind of just partially tensioned, and it's on a mounted on a pole. That goes down to a horse snap here. These horse snaps are typically used in horse leads or dog leashes. They sell something like this at Westbur for a ridiculous amount of money, I think $70 or $80. You can literally find this, and it works as a trigger for about $10. This is a cargo strap from Harbor Freight. That's attached to the bungee there of the slingshot, and you can pull this strap here and it will tension and capture the tension so that you can line up your shot and let this loose here. So you can take that Big Shot and tension it using this cargo strap here at the bottom, and then use this snap to release the tension and make your shot. It's much easier to make a shot with a big shot using a tension system that captures your progress and a trigger. This is just a cheap trigger from Tractor Supply. This is actually from a horse harness so that it'll release under pressure. They sell something like this at West Spur for a ridiculous amount of money. You don't need it. You can go and find one of these and it works fine for about $5 or $10. You might have to buy the leash though attached to it and cut the leash off. I think that's what I had to do. A fly reel. This is an old Shakespeare auto rewind fly reel. It's been restrung with throw line. This is 1.5 millimeter throw line, and this is a steel shot filled bag here. You can clip that onto your harness and it really prevents you from having to mess with a lot of throw line management in the tree. It can reduce the amount of time you mess with the throw line in a tree greatly. This is another throw line kit that I use. This is a kit that I mostly use up in the tree for transfers. This kit is great to use when you want to transfer from tree to tree, but you can't use the captain hook maybe because the branch is too large for the captain hook. That's when a kit like this can be very handy. This is a homemade grapnel made from 4 J-bolts, 1 I-bolt, and some 2-part epoxy. There's a rare earth magnet there at the top. That came from eBay. It's about $12 from eBay. Those two combined will really kind of increase your chances of snagging a throw line bag in another tree and bringing it back to you for a traverse. I do keep a short hank of throw line, and I keep that whole kit in this camo bag just to keep it contained. This is one more item to show you here. This is my 35-foot lanyard. It's made out of 9mm PMI Easy Bend. The Easy Bend is very light, very skinny, very durable. I really like it because it's so lightweight. You can hardly feel this on your harness when you climb up into a tree. I am using 8mm B-line hitch cord. I'm using the Hitch Climber pulley, Rocco carabiner, and a Pirate carabiner from Rock Exotica with a leather cambium saver. On the other end I just have a Rocco carabiner to kind of act as a stopper knot. This lanyard, this 35-foot lanyard, has quite a bit of mileage on it, but it's very durable and it's really not showing hardly any signs of wear like some normal arborist ropes do. I really like PMI Easy Bend very much for tree climbing. I don't think a lot of professional arborists use it, but it's something that you could probably consider as a recreational tree climber. This is 9mm PMI. I'm also using 10mm PMI on my extra long lanyard with the captain hook attached to one end. I think I prefer the 9mm. It's a little bit lighter and it's a little bit more supple. It takes knots a little bit easier. Let's go for a climb!